What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Friday transfer news recap. And there are some updates. There's actually a real Jaden Sancho update. And when I say real, it's actually real because it means something. There are pictures of his, not his agent, but Man U's, middleman basically, who speaks for Man U basically, is in Torino. So that's kind of a real update, because a couple of days ago we had an update from David Ornstein saying, actually, not sure what's going on there. The media is basically lying, the Italian media. However, now there's proof that the Italian media wasn't really completely lying, and there is news on a complete new midfield. From Sander Berge to Hilmund to Bissouma as well. And if you want to talk about Cristante, I'm not going to talk about Cristante, but he's been mentioned by Gazzetta dello Sport as well. But before we get into it, as always, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get straight into. Let's start with Jaden Sancho really quickly because not his agent, so I'll repeat myself, the middleman basically, he's also a football agent, but not really Jaden Sancho's agent, is in Torino to talk with the club because according to Alfredo Pedula, Jaden Sancho had offers in the last couple of days, but he told his agent to, basically tell other clubs he wants to join Juve, and the club, Juve, still wants to get it over the line. That's why the middleman is in Torino to figure out how these things could be, happening. Is it, paying Man U a bit more? Is it agreeing with Jaden Sancho? Something else? I have no clue. Actually, nobody has a clue what's that about. But the Jaden Sancho thing isn't really dead in the water. The club still wants Jaden Sancho at the club, and they're working. However, it all depends on what is going to happen with Nico Gonzalez and Timothy Weah, because again, Marseille are not really offering what we want, and Premier League clubs haven't made an offer for Timothy Weah. They're interested, but there's no real offer coming in from Leeds, and I think it was Fulham I saw lately, but there's no real offer. The only real offer-ish is from Marseille, but they're offering 15, we want 20. So the Jaden Sancho thing, not that in the water. The topic of the video is the midfield overall. And it all starts with Douglas Luiz. On Douglas Luiz, news up that Juve called his agent, and his agent said he will probably, not really, not 100% sure, he will be probably back next week. And when we talk about all these things, and some of you are like, oh, this is negativity. How can you look at this situation and be positive? You have a player under contract, and he's telling the club, maybe I will be back next week. And the club is like, fine, we will fine you a little bit, I guess. How is that like? In a serious club, that's not possible unless, and you're a superstar player and you have that power, and then the club will cover it up with excuses. There's no cover up. This is just an anybody player telling the club, piss off. I will be back when I will be back. But everything depends on the Douglas Luiz sale for that midfield. So we're linked to 3 players today. If you want to include Cristante, I'm not going to talk about Cristante. The first one is Sander Berge. He plays for Fulham. A player I watched a lot of times because, like I said, he played in the Belgium league, actually played in my hometown team. And he was very, very good. He was really, really good. Then he moved, I think to Sassuolo it was, then Brentford, then Fulham. Close to Man U last season as well. I think he's a good player, but he hasn't improved. Like the peak he had in the Belgium league, I thought, oh my god, this is going to be an insane player. And as Sassuolo, I thought he improved a little bit. Then he went to England, and he hasn't improved how I thought he would improve. Is he better than a McKennie, for example? Yeah, like he is a better player than Weston McKennie. However, we're looking for a Douglas Luiz replacement because McKennie is probably going to stay. Is he going to play Locatelli or Thuram out of the team? No, I don't see that happening at this moment in time. So is that an upgrade? No, it's not an upgrade. Maybe it's an upgrade on Douglas Luiz because, well, Tudor will pick him, so you have an extra player. But would he be a game changer for that midfield? Would he be competing and bring even a better Thuram out of him, or Locatelli? I don't really see that happening. The other player is Bissouma, who is extremely inconsistent. Like you can ask Tottenham fans, he's extremely on his day he is good, but his day is not week in, week out. And that's an issue. Like, that's a player you shouldn't be investing in my opinion. And he's not really, is he injury prone? Probably. With his injury record, when he comes to the club, he will be extremely injury prone. So is Bissouma a player we should be investing heavily in? No, because they want 30 to 35 million. I think his contract runs out in 28 or something. That's not a player you should be investing money, because he's not better than Thuram. Thuram is more consistent, and he's not going to be playing Locatelli out of the team. So that's also a player I'm like, not really needed, in my opinion, to make that investment. And the other player is Hjulmand, like everybody knows. That's the number one target. That's what Tudor wants. But Sporting are asking for a lot of money. The player is happy to join, but like you guys already said in the comment, is it really needed? You know, if you move him out, if we bring him in, is that a different profile than we do not have at the club? You know, don't we, like Locatelli, can he do that job? Yeah, he can do that job, you know. So is that really worthy to spend 40, 50 million euros? No, I like Hjulmand, but if we need to spend 50 million, then I'd rather spend 30 million on Sander Berge and spend that other 20 million on actually a center back, you know, because going to the center back, the real update and the only update is Rugani is going to stay. And if Rugani is going to stay, that's a clear message from the club saying we are happy with our backline. We're happy that Bremer is back. We're happy that Cabal is on his way back. We're happy that Savona is improving, I guess. Kelly, whatever, Kalulu and Gatti signed a new deal, and we have Rugani. The club is making it very clear they rate that center back. Partnership, trio, whatever. They rate that partnership. They rate that group of defenders, which is mind-boggling to me because it's not good. And I know people say, oh, when Bremer was playing, it looked good. It was a couple of games. We don't know what happened, what could have happened afterwards. Will we improve with Bremer in the team? If he's fit, yes. But will that be good enough to play 40 plus games a season? No, because Bremer on his own cannot do anything. Everything, excuse me. He can't. When you have average players in the squad, it's going to look average no matter what. At one point, the averageness is going to drag down the quality. That's just how it is. Like it's like you put Messi in Sassuolo's team. He's not gonna look like Messi. He will have moments, but throughout the season, he's just gonna look bad, you know, because there's nobody else there. I'm exaggerating it, but one quality player is not gonna drag everyone out of the mud. I wish it was that simple, because if that was it was that simple, you just splash 150 million on one player and the team is fixed. But it's not that easy. So that is the downside of all these updates. That the center back, that's what it is. You know, we have some updates on Molina again. The club is looking at, but I mean, we just need to wait and see on that one. It's just Jaden Sancho's Man U's agent working on the deal is in town, and the club's looking to sign a midfielder the moment Douglas Luiz is out of the door. But Douglas Luiz is not coming back to the club until maybe next week. So that's a weird situation in itself to begin with. Anyways, those are the updates for now. Let me know in the comments what you think about that midfield. Should we spend big? On who should we spend big as well? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will speak to you guys later tomorrow. Ciao.